So now that we're at this stage, we've got most of the IK. Well, we've got all the IK in there, I believe. So the next thing we want to do is just set up the foot controls and the set driven key attributes for the feet itself. So we want to go over to curves, which is our NURB curves, and we want to go over to the circle. If we double click that, we've got a lot of settings. We can just leave all these as they are. Shift click and drag to have a circle on the floor, and then just holding V, snap that to the heel to leg lock joint 1. And now with this shape selected, we can go in and start making a shape of some variety. We want to kind of mimic a foot, so it's a very recognisable shape when we are modelling, when we are animating later on. In fact, I'll just bring this front bit out a little bit more so that our toes have a bit more space. And I want to take that and I want to hit Control D to duplicate. So you can hear we've got a NURB circle shape too. And holding V, I want to drag over to the other foot. Now obviously we've made our foot control to shape roughly around the shape of the foot, and this one doesn't quite shape around it properly. We can easily fix that dead quick by going to your control box, scale X, because we want to scale it in this axis, and put in -1, and you see it flips. So now we've got both our feet here. With both of them selected, I want us to go up to modify, freeze transformation, and then edit, and then delete by type. It's very, very important that we don't delete all by type, just delete by type, because delete all by type will delete all the IK history inside the scene, and we want to maintain that. So just delete by type history. So then here you can see that's all gone. And this shape we will call left leg CTRL for control. And then we will go for leg CTRL. Good. Now it's a good idea to actually start to colour these as well, so that we know what side is what. When you're posing a character, your pole vectors and your feet might be in different positions, so you want to know that what is left and what is right. We can also easily, I've just noticed that that's a lowercase r, so I'll go in there and change that. Okay. So we can easily do it by selecting our leg our foot control we want to change, go to attributes, and then go to leg control display. So if we drill down, we go to leg control display, and then drawing overrides, and then click enable override. And then this will give us this setting to change. And in colour here, we can just do a drag, and you can see them colours are changing. We'll set the left as blue, so you can see that that's nice and blue now. And if we go up to the other side, we find a red. There you go, red. So now we've got left is blue, right is red. So we can then take that through to all the rest of the controls throughout the scene. The next one we'll do is the pole vector for the knee, and now we can either make a shape that's a circle and be a bit boring like that, but we can also make a bit of a fancy control. I say fancy, it's still very simple. We did make this in class, so what I want you to do is make a cube, shift drag to make a perfect cube, and then I want you to go to create EP curve option box, and then go to one linear, and I'll show you what the difference is. One linear, we create a line, and it's just a straight line to each one of the points. If we go to 3 cubic, there is a small curve between each control point, and if we got something like 7, there's a lot more curve between each point, but we only want one point. We only want one straight line. So we've got TP curve, option box, one linear, and then hovering over our cube, just take one of the corners, hold V to snap to vertex, and then we just snap a point to there, and then go to the next one, and you can see that we're actually drawing a line from one corner to the other. And if we just go around the top first, and then we can go down to the bottom and draw a cube at the bottom, and then just go around and then make sure that all the vertical sides are done. It doesn't matter that we're overlapping our lines. So when we're done that, we just press W to confirm, and if we click on the grey bit, that's our cube. We can move that to the side, and we can see that we've got a perfect cube that we can now use as a pole vector. So you'll notice that the manipulator is actually in the centre of the world. Obviously we don't want that, so we go to modify centre pivot, shrink it down a little bit, and then snap it to the knee, and then Control D, drag another one over to the knee, so we've got 2, and then if we shift select both of them and then drag them out, we'll have 2 pole vectors. Now we covered this in class. When we add our pole vector controls, the further away our pole vectors might be, the less control they will have, or the finer control they will have on your knee. So if you wanted to really bend your knee, you'll have to bring a control all the way out to the side. The closer a control is to a knee, then the less fine control you have over it. So if you make a small movement, you're going to make a big movement on the actual knee. So we want to move them. In Kevin's world, I'd say like 1.5 foot or a foot away from his own knee is a good distance, a nice bit of control. And then we can go and change the colours of these. And there we go, we've got 2 lovely, let's change that to red. We've got 2 lovely foot controls. You're not going to red. So we want to also select both of these and name them. This left one will be our left knee control. The right one will be our right knee. Selecting both, modify tree transformation and delete history. Cool. So now you'll notice that we freeze transformation because we want these to have a 0 position, a point we can return to when we want to go back to a natural pose. So if we move this around, you can see that we've changed parameters inside here. All we have to do is set these to 0, and it returns back to where it was. Beautiful. So now the last thing we're going to do is add the attributes for the feet that we will use later on. So if you select both the feet, then go to modify and add attributes, we'll get this box up. And again, we went through this in class. We want to actually set up our controls for our legs, for our feet, our leg controls, so we can actually do a set of different keys. So the first one will be leg. Roll, can't type today apparently. We can leave all this as it is, and we want to go for minimum being -10 and maximum being 10, and then we want to click add. And if we get our control box up, you can see that we've got a leg roll has been created. Next one we want to go is heel pivot, and we want to go -5 to +5 because it's a smaller movement, and And that last one is toe pivot, and that again will be a -5 to a +5. So if we click OK now, see that we've got our leg roll, heel pivot, toe pivot, and they're going to be on each one of them. So now at that stage we've got our feet and our leg controls and our knee pole vectors in place, ready to actually apply the set of different keys, which we will do next. I should actually add why we input the numbers into the attribute editor when we actually made the attributes. That's because if we were to select, just click on the actual name itself when we have something selected, and if we middle mouse in the scene, you'll see inside the control box that our numbers are changing. What you will notice is I can drag as far to the left as I can, which is minus, and it stops at -10. Same for if I go positive, it stops at +10. So that gives us an area to work with that we can't then go out of, which is great for adding human control to sort of joints, so that we don't end up breaking any believability. Same for heel and toe. If I select both of them, you can see that they go to -5 and +5, and that's just why we actually input the numbers into the scene.